and the energy that you need defensively to get your team over the hump that he just didn't have, man. These fourth quarters, he didn't have. I don't give a damn if David Blatt was giving this dude the last minute. By the way, that turned out bad last night. Yeah, in that minute, Steph and the boys scored like 8 points. Like, he took LeBron out for that last minute. They was like, bet, let's go. They put their foot on the gas, and it was like, yep, championship's ours. You can come on back in now, bro. It's good, because this is over. We give a damn what JR does in the fourth quarter. All he's doing is teasing you right before JR is all over your face. All right. So, Mark Jackson now. I'll get back to Steve Kerr. So, Mark Jackson was somebody who was brought up in conversation today. Matter of fact, let's do this, Rob. Let's take a short break here, right? And we'll come back. We'll talk about the other two coaches. I try to remind myself to do this now more regularly. Take these breaks at the 90. This is Sports Kings Live. I'm Big Mike. He's Rob Calloway. We're being heard via Spreaker.com and the Spreaker app. Go ahead and download that and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Sports Kings Live. Sorry, I had to find a PSA real quick. We'll be right back.
You must have thrown 1,000 pitches teaching him to hit a home run. Spent countless Saturdays running routes so he could learn to hit an open receiver. Endless afternoons teaching him how to hit the three-pointer. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit? Teaching boys that all violence against women is wrong is one of the most important things a man can do. Learn how to start the conversation at teachearly.org. Brought to you by Futures Without Violence and the Ad Council.
What's going on, everybody? It's your man, Big Mike.
Yep, and this is RC, Rod Calloway.
First of all, we'd like to thank everybody for being down with the Kings and for supporting Sports Kings Live.
Your listens, downloads, likes, and follows have allowed this show to grow by leaps and bounds in just a few months.
Now, if you have a product or a business and you'd like to promote it on this show,
it's simple. Just email us at sportskingslive@gmail.com. And once again, thank you for being down with the Kings.
And we're back. Welcome back into a Wednesday as we got about another half hour left in the show. Big Mike, Rob Calloway, the Sports Kings. You guys make sure you're following us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, especially Instagram today, because Chesticle Watch 2015 is over. Thanks to me. Yeah, I'm patting myself on the back. Then I'm about to break my arm doing it. Oh, yeah. We spent most of the show talking about the NBA Finals, the championship game. What ended up being a championship game yesterday. We spoke with Atlanta rap artist Bonecrusher earlier, and I think he yelled at me a little bit. You know, he yelled at me in like the bone.
Not like you thought it was gonna be.
Nah, it's kind of the calm Bonecrusher way, not the excited Bonecrusher way. Like not the 20-something-year-old Bonecrusher, but more of the 44-year-old Bonecrusher yelling at me. So that was a lot more palatable. And before we went to break, we were talking about I said the three coaches. Yeah, I did say three coaches involved in this series. And before we went to break, I was talking about how Mark Jackson's name came up as related to the Cleveland Cavaliers, because apparently LeBron was asked about Mark Jackson when he got let go or fired. I don't know why I'm saying let go. Got fired from the Golden State Warriors, and LeBron made a comment about how much he respected Mark Jackson and would like to play for him. So now everyone's trying to put those A to B dots together and say, well, now David Blatt, the babysitter, LeBron needs a guy who he can respect. No, what LeBron needs is damn help. He needs his 2 All-Stars back. That needs to happen.
Hey, Mark Jackson ain't going to be out on the court shimmying with him.
Right.
He ain't going to be out there doing this little dance, because Mark ain't coming out on the court.
And
he needs help. Let's
be clear. I'm not vouching for David Blatt, but I just think he's in a real precarious situation. Like, how do you know how good a coach he is? It's real, you know what I mean? It's up in the air to me.
Well, okay, but see, and see that could go for any coach that LeBron James played for. Like, how good are they really? You can go with Eric Spoelstra, who had the luxury of having LeBron James, D. Wade, and Chris Bosh. You can use Mike Brown, who was the coach that actually took the Cavs to the finals with LeBron. And now you have David Blatt, another guy that has gone to the finals, on the back of LeBron James. So, I mean,
he just makes it hard.
It's one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, LeBron makes it hard to actually evaluate a coach.
You really don't know. Yeah. I mean, at least like with the Lakers, like with the Lakers, like when Mike Brown was out there, they just sucked. You know, Kobe was there, and they sucked. So it's like, okay, well, maybe the coach, maybe this, what was it, the Harvard, the Princeton offense or whatever it was that they were running. Yeah, I mean, that didn't work out. I mean, so, you know, you have different scenarios, but LeBron, I mean, LeBron is LeBron. Like minus his first 2 years in the league when they didn't go to the playoffs, right? But after that, like anybody that has been LeBron James' coach has had the luxury of going to the NBA Finals, period.
And it's so weird that it's so. And this is what I wanted to point out to Bonecrusher is that LeBron James is a victim of his own standards. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like when you look at a dude that had 32, 9, and 18, that's 18 rebounds, everyone, for your, let's call it small forward / point guard. That's 18 rebounds in a closeout game. Yeah, that's not an average night for anyone. You know what I mean? There's no part of me that says, oh, well, you know, he should have done more. That's 32, 9, and 18.
What more? Yeah, what more could he have done? And that's what I remember. I was saying that last night. I kept saying, man, LeBron got 400 in order to get here, you know, to make the critics just shut up. Like, you know, well, I mean, in a game like last night, I mean, he did all he could do. I mean, just like you said, he's human. Superman, you know, I mean, it ain't Superman. Like, it's LeBron James.
Yeah. So yeah, the whole Mark Jackson thing, and I saw it all day on Twitter today. How people like they can't be happy for the Warriors really, or they can't be happy for Steve Kerr because apparently Mark Jackson built this team. You're wrong. If you feel that way, you're wrong. You're factually wrong. Not just that your opinion. You're factually wrong. There's a man named Jerry West. Maybe you heard of him. Yeah, he's on the executive board. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You mean the logo?
Right. He's only the logo of the league. But yeah, that guy. He's on the executive.
MVP, the Finals MVP on the losing team. Him?
Right.
That dude.
The guy who built those Lakers championship teams. Anybody remember him? Yeah. The guy who went to Memphis, turned that team into a perennial winner. The guy who's now in Golden State. The man who said, this story came out this week, that if you guys trade Klay Thompson for Kevin Love, I'm leaving. And you know what didn't happen? Well, you saw what you saw last night. Yeah, Kevin Love's in the hospital or in a sling on his arm, with a sling on his arm, and Klay Thompson is hoisting the Larry O'Brien trophy. So that guy's there. Also, there are the two other guys, Larry Riley and Bob Myers. Larry Riley was the GM before Bob Myers. Bob Myers came on in 2011, same year as Mark Jackson. See, the problem that we run into is history starts changing as we get a little bit older. And people like Mark Jackson. We do. We like him as an announcer. We think he's a good guy. He's one of those good Christian guys, whatever that means. By the way,
I mean, and those that watched him play basketball,
right?
Like his basketball prowess that he once had.
In case you guys didn't notice, God hates LeBron, according to Andre Iguodala.
Yeah.
Like anytime I hear a dude, whenever I hear dudes like, yeah, first of all, we prayed and, we asked God to do this for us and all that. So what? The other team didn't? Is that what we're saying? Like, what are we talking?
All of that was kind of weird.
Like God just chose sides. He's like, you know what? I want the Golden State Warriors to be the champions and screw the Cavs.
Yeah, because even Steph said something about Jesus and going to them praying together.
Yeah, that's why, that's why they love Mark Jackson so much. Yeah, he used to take them dudes to chapel, take them to his church when he preached and all. Like, yeah, you don't remember those stories?
Yes, but I didn't even put all of that together.
Oh yeah, all these dudes, man, they some Bible thumping dudes. Harrison Barnes never ever had alcohol until last night. Yeah, him, Andre Iguodala didn't have any last night. He didn't even have none last night. Yeah, they those dudes. Yeah, they're those dudes. Those like Bible thumping weirdos, but they can ball, so no one cares.
Like the Jesus freaks.
Yeah, those guys. And for everybody who feels like Mark Jackson is due something for what this team has accomplished, why isn't everybody knocking down Mark Jackson's door to coach their team? You ever ask yourself that question? Every year teams fire guys and like dudes is going to college. Mark Jackson's right there at your game. They going to college finding their coaches. If Mark Jackson's that guy, why everybody knocking down his door? I believe that upper management in the NBA the common thread amongst all of them is they want to win. I think we can all agree that that's the commonality, that they all want to win. And if Mark Jackson is that guy. Who?
You know who Mark Jackson is, right?
Who's Mark Jackson?
He's Doug Collins.
Here's the thing. I'm going to put him in the same category as David Blatt. I don't know who Mark Jackson is. You know what I mean?
Well, and the reason that I say that he's Doug Collins is because, you know, right there before Doug Collins got fired from Chicago, you know, they already had Scotty, they had Hart. You know, so when Field took over, you know, then Field became a benefactor. So, I mean, it's almost the same type deal.
Well, the reason I kind of resist putting Mark in that category because we've seen Doug Collins in a couple of different instances be that same guy. You know, be the guy that gets you to a certain point.
Okay.
To Mark Jackson, we got one sample size, and we don't necessarily know that it was completed.
I'm with it.
Like, it was Doug's time to go. There are a lot of people who believe it wasn't necessarily Mark's time to go. He just rubbed the front office people the wrong way.
Right.
And they was like, all right, we can do. I think the quote that I read today, because I had to go back and read it, is that, you know, they felt that a change in coaching, the next guy they chose would take them to a championship. And, well, somebody was right. You know what I mean? The evidence is the evidence, you know. And it's not saying that.
Chicago said that when they fired Thibodeau?
I don't know. No, they said they won a championship. That's what they said. But these people are saying that they believe that the next guy would take them to a championship, and here they are. Now, we don't know if Mark Jackson would have happened. He doesn't know. But Mark Jackson's a pro. And here's the other thing that we can't forget about, that Mark Jackson, he brought the FBI into the building. Oh, really? Yes, really. That whole extortion thing with the strippers and the hoes?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That wasn't regular police involved in that. That was the feds. Don't nobody want them problems, because like at any business, let's not look at it differently because it's a basketball organization. It's a business. Don't nobody want the feds around their stuff, man. Nobody. So if it were me and I was looking at a situation, and I believe, because if anybody remembers Steve Kerr as not as a GM but as an analyst, Steve Kerr is a very, very bright. He has a very, very bright basketball mind. Very, very bright. And last night he talked about all the people, Lute Olson and Popovich and Phil Jackson, all the people who influenced him. I don't know. What do you do? They're number one in defense and number one in offense this year. He upped the ante, a 6 seed that got bounced in the first round last year, to the number one overall seed at 67 wins. 51.
51 wins.
And 67 this year.
Last year to 67.
Yeah, that ain't some dude that's just babysitting the team. That ain't that. And you know what?
When the dudes started rolling off those kind of names that he had the opportunity to be able to play for,
I think it matters.
Like the Lute Olson, and then the Phil Jacksons, and then he finished out with Pop. It's like, man,
it matters.
You know, that, like, yeah, it damn sure does.
And here's what Steph Curry had to say about the Jackson to Kerr transition.
He's taken a solid foundation that we built. Obviously, Coach Jackson had a huge part in changing our identity, and he came in. Coach Kerr came in and was very humble about how he was going to approach his job. Like I said, he had a lot of talent to work with, a great coaching staff, but he had some ideas as well that he wanted to implement. Ball movement, player movement. Every decision he made, I think everybody bought into it. Whether you understood it or not, you bought into it. Because he's a champion, he's won 5 of these, I think. So you got to trust a guy that's been here before and his view for our team.
And I think what you just heard is very important, because those guys they were very, very vocal in their love for Mark Jackson. But love is love. Respect is respect. Yeah. And when you hear a dude say, we bought in, no matter if we agreed or understood, we bought in. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what respect is. That's what respect is. Love is love. Respect is the other thing. Now, they don't have to be mutually exclusive. They can be together, but they don't have to be either. They don't have to be together either. Yeah, I think hearing that from the best player on the team should tell you all you need to know about the Mark Jackson, Steve Kerr scenario. Like, Steve Kerr didn't steal Mark Jackson's team and then win a championship like right at the end when Mark Jackson was going to do it anyway. You may be able to make that argument, but what I have is actual proof on my side that the team was exponentially better. They weren't one game better. You know,